Change will not come if we wait for some other person or if we wait for some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. The best way to not feel hopeless is to get up and do something. Don't wait for good things to happen to you. If you go out and make some good things happen, you will fill the world with hope. You will fill yourself with hope. A change is brought about because ordinary people do extraordinary things. Yes, we can. We are the change we have been waiting for. In the unlikely story that is America, there has never been anything false about hope. In the face of impossible odds, people who love this country can change it. I am inspired by the people I meet in my travels, hearing their stories, seeing the hardships they overcome, their fundamental optimism and decency. I'm inspired by the love people have for their children, and I am inspired by my own children, how full they make my heart. They make me want to work to make the world a little bit better, and they make me want to be a better man. If you're walking down the right path and you're willing to keep walking, eventually you'll make progress. If there's a child on the south side of Chicago who can't read, that matters to me, even if it's not my child. If there's a senior citizen somewhere who can't pay for their prescription, who has to choose between medicine and the rent, that makes my life poorer. Even if it's not my grandparent, if there's an Arab American or Mexican American family being rounded up by John Ashcroft without benefit of an attorney or due process, I know that threatens my civil liberties, and I don't have to be a woman to be concerned at the Supreme Court is trying to take away a woman's right, because I know that my rights are next. It is that fundamental belief. I am my brother's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. That makes this country work. There is not a liberal America and a conservative America. One voice can change a room, and if one voice can change a room, then it can change a city, and if it can change a city, it can change a state, and if it changes a state, it can change a nation, and if it can change a nation, it can change the world. Your voice can change the world. We don't ask you to believe in our ability to bring change. Rather, we ask you to believe in yours. I believe in evolution, scientific inquiry, and global warming. I believe in free speech, whether politically correct or politically incorrect. And I am suspicious of using government to impose anybody's religious beliefs, including my own, on non-believers. What I've realized is that life doesn't count for much unless you're willing to do your small part to leave our children, all of our children, a better world. Any fool can have a child. That doesn't make you a father. It's the courage to raise a child that makes you a father. It's important to make Sure that we're talking with each other in a way that heals, not in a way that wounds. No, you can't deny women their basic rights and pretend it's about your religious freedom. If you don't like birth control, don't use it. Religious freedom doesn't mean you can force others to live by your own beliefs. Focusing your life solely on making a buck shows a poverty of ambition. It asks too little of yourself, and it will leave you unfulfilled. Making your mark on the world is hard. If it were easy, everybody would do it, but it's not. It takes patience. It takes commitment, and it comes with plenty of failure along the way. The real test is not whether you avoid this failure, because you won't. It's whether you let it harden or shame you into inaction, or whether you learn from it, whether you choose to persevere. Nothing can stand in the way of the power of millions of voices calling for change. The worst thing that colonialism did was to cloud our view of our past. Why can't I just eat my waffle? Hope is not blind optimism. It's not ignoring the enormity of the task ahead or the roadblocks that stand in our path. It's not sitting on thesis lines or shirking from a fight. Hope is that thing inside us that insists, despite all evidence to the contrary, that something better awaits us if we have the courage to reach for it, and to work for it, and to fight for it. Hope is the belief that destiny will not be written for us, but by us, by the men and women who are not content to settle for the world as it is, who have the courage to remake the world as it should be. I have always believed that hope is that stubborn thing inside us that insists, despite all evidence to the contrary, that something better awaits us, so long as we have the courage to keep reaching, to keep working, to keep fighting. Our stories may be singular, but our destination is shared. The study of law can be disappointing at times, a matter of applying narrow rules and arcane procedure to an uncooperative reality, a sort of glorified accounting that serves to regulate the affairs of those who have power, and that all too often seeks to explain to those who do not the ultimate wisdom and justness of their condition. But that's not all the law is. The law is also memory. The law also records a long-running conversation, a nation arguing with its conscience. Enthusiasm makes up for a host of deficiencies. You can't let your failures define you. You have to let your failures teach you. I suspect that God's plan, whatever it is, works on a scale too large to admit our mortal tribulations, that in a single lifetime accidents and happenstance determine more than we care to admit, and that the best we can do is to try to align ourselves with what we feel is right and construct some meaning out of our confusion, and with grace and nerve play at each moment the hand that we're dealt. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel.